together. But we know the strength of this team has always been the running game and the offensive line. I'm more concerned about that than anything. Everyone's talking about the passing game, the offensive line, and you mentioned it when you were just talking there, but the offensive line injuries and how this running game and thus Saquon Barkley has struggled has been a much bigger concern to me. I mean, Landon Dickerson is an absolute dog, so he's out there, but he had suffered an injury in training camp that we all thought was going to keep him out for months.
Correct.
So I'm not convinced he's 100%. We know Cam Jurgens' back thing is always lingering. Matt Pryor is in there, and he had to replace Tyler Steen last week, and we'll see what happens with that. Lane Johnson's been in and out of the game the last 2 weeks. This offensive line is seriously injured, and our running game hasn't been as good. They're not getting as much push, and Saquon Barkley's being tackled before the line of scrimmage, which we rarely saw last year. So how concerned are you with this running game? Because if this offensive line doesn't get healthy throughout the entire season, it looks like they're not going to. It's not trending that way. I'm concerned about the potential of this team, but it seems like everyone's just focusing on the passing offense.
I see what you mean. Nobody expected Saquon to do what he did last year again. It's never happened, right? But you expected it to look a little bit more crisp than it does right now. I'd say that the injuries are not something that you can suddenly, until the bye week, you're not going to get extra rest. You don't have the depth. You don't have, nobody has that much depth to be able to churn out two fully all-pro offensive lines. The key is going to be them making adjustments in the way that they game plan. One of the things that they've run a ton this season is counter. Well, they're not good at it. They're not good at it, and you need athleticism. And when you have two guys who should be pulling, who can't move as quickly as they would at full health, they're not going to get out there and get those lead blocks. But one thing they could do is run more duo. They were very successful with it last year. A ton of double teams led to wide open lanes for Saquon to show off his athleticism, and they're not doing that for whatever reason. It's going to have to be a conversation that comes from internally. It's going to have to be scheming guys open. I think Sean and I talked about this last week in the passing game, but it applies to the running game as well. The best coaches figure out ways to scheme their guys open, right? How many times have you watched a Chiefs game in the last 5 years and said, how in the world is Kelce open again? How is this guy not the guy that's covered? The Eagles need to figure out a way to do that, whether it's A.J. Brown or whether it's getting Saquon in open space. They need to scheme differently around their injuries as opposed to doing the same thing that's not working.
Yeah, they are middle of the pack right now as far as rushing is concerned, averaging 113 yards per game. To put it into perspective, the Buffalo Bills are number one at the top of the list at 163. Commanders are at 154 at the bottom of the barrel. Cincinnati Bengals, 50 yards rushing per game. My goodness, it is ugly there. All right. And again, I think it's important to point out, as everybody has, this team continues to win games. So I'm not panicked by no means. It's just all right, man. If the playoffs were to start today, I'd have a hard time beating my chest. That's all. But they don't start today. Got a long way to go. A lot of football to be played. Big time game against the Denver Broncos coming up on Sunday. With that being said, let's talk a little bit about A.J. Brown here and, the mea culpa that he comes out yesterday, which I think he deserves a lot of credit, Kyle. I'd like to come out and say I messed up. I made a mistake. I want to be here. That was a bad job by me. I salute you. I can live with everything if you are one of these guys that can come out and say, I was wrong. It's so hard for my wife never says it. God bless her. She never says she's wrong about anything, right? I just worked with a guy this morning. He was like, he was joking. He's like, I can't say, I get things wrong all the time. I am fine saying that I get things wrong. It is okay. A.J. Brown did that. So I'm ready to put this behind us. Let's focus on the next opponent. Is it as easy as that, though, for the guys inside the locker room in your mind?
I think if he doesn't do it again, it's really easy, right?
Well, we know he's going to do it again. It's A.J.
Brown. He has a history of doing it again. It's if Sunday comes and goes and all of a sudden he's tweeting out memes or whatever right after the game because he only had 3 catches on 5 targets or whatever, then, it's if you say one thing and you act differently, then I'm going to hold it against you a little bit. And some of the he's a veteran himself, so he shouldn't need a talking to, but some of the veterans just got to get their arms around him hey, we get it, man. We all feel that way. We all want you to get the ball, but let's keep it in-house so it doesn't blow up into something else. In 2023, it felt like the frustrations and them barely hanging on boiled over at one point, right? You don't want it to get to a point where you have so much turmoil just because everything isn't going perfect that you allow it to boil over and impact your play on the field as a team, right? It's if AJ doesn't get the targets, but they keep winning, I'd be a little annoyed, but at the end of the day, you got 30 million in your pocket and you're 5-0, right? So I know it's a lot. It's not as simple as I just made it, right? But I think that when you think of the diva wide receiver, they never do this. They never come out and apologize after the fact. A perfect example, a guy, Stephon Diggs, who, no matter how successful he was in Buffalo, it seemed like there was always this under the skin turmoil between he and Josh Allen. And if he didn't have a great game, that's all the talking point was. Look, he's making it about himself. He's screaming at people. But being on the sideline for as many times as we were with Buffalo, you were hearing a much different thing. It sounded like he was yelling frustrations at people because seemed that way from the outside. But when you're listening to what he says, he's a fiery leader. He was on the sideline trying to get everybody up. We're still in this game. Don't worry about it. Yeah, he would express his frustrations about his lack of play. But during the game, to quote Jalen Hurts, he kept the main thing. And as long as they won, he was okay on that field. So I think that that's something that when you have video without audio and you're not in that clubhouse every single day, or locker room, clubhouse, sorry, MLB on the brain. But when you're in that locker room, or you're not in that locker room every day, rather, you don't know what those conversations are like. So if he tweets something and you want to overreact to that, that's fine. But if everybody in that locker room trusts him, then who am I to say that I don't?
I think that's a great point in terms of the diva wide receivers. Also, AJ Brown doesn't do tussy like Stephon Diggs. But but I do think
I was like, wait, what?
I do think that's a great point in terms of the difference between AJ Brown and how he's willing to apologize. And I also think, furthermore, is the Eagles' culture strong enough to overcome some of those attitude problems with AJ Brown? And that's a credit to Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman and the culture they've built. But we saw that last year. Sean and I were talking about it earlier in the show, how AJ Brown did similar things last year and caused a distraction, caused his teammates and coaches and everyone to answer questions about him because of his comments after a game where he was frustrated. He didn't get a lot of targets, but they obviously overcame that and ended up winning a Super Bowl. So I think the culture is strong enough to overcome AJ Brown's attitude concerns, but I also think it's a great point by you that his divaness, if that's a word, is a little different than other star wide receivers because he actually takes accountability after his mistakes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We know all about the drama last season. Everybody owns one of these now. We all know about the drama last season, but you're right. It's something that it's not the first time where we've had an incident, but they've been able to move past it every time. And if the worst thing that your receiver does is tweet a meme and then apologize because some people took it the wrong way, or maybe he was just frustrated and he emotionally tweeted, like, all things considered, you're doing pretty good if that's the worst thing that happened to you this week.
No doubt about it. We got Kyle Fisher, does a bang-up job for every outlet that he represents. But, folks, make sure you're following him on all things socials at Kyle Fisher 45, Kyle Fisher 45. And you can find everything that he is doing right there on all things socials, as I just said. All right, let's shift gears, Kyle. Let's talk a little Major League Baseball playoffs here, as we do have some live action all tied up at 1 apiece. That game is heading to the bottom of the 5th. Guardians and the Tigers in a knock them down, drag them out type of game. It's win or go home. 3 of them taking place this afternoon/evening. First time in Major League Baseball history. Game 1, though, for the Phillies and Dodgers Saturday. Shohei Ohtani on the mound, Christopher Sanchez on the mound. First of all, I want to open up with this. We were having this discussion earlier, and you came in with the Phillies are 29-14 in postseason baseball at Citizens Bank Park. Don't care how you feel about it, or a recent example. The proof is in the pudding. He directed that at you, Sam Ostry, talking about a home field advantage for the Phillies. I am more on your side of the argument than anything, Kyle, but the recent sample that we have, it is really giving it back to us as the Mets. They did win a game here. They lost that second one that went back to New York. And then the Arizona Diamondbacks was just a crippling series as far as happening here at home. But in your mind, do the Phillies have a legitimate home field advantage?
Yes, I think they obviously do, but it still comes down to the players performing on the field, right? They should have won that game up 3-2 with 2 games at home against Arizona, and they just went cold as an offense. But the offense is built a little bit differently. Everybody on the team was asked to do something in the offseason a little different, And for the most part, they all successfully did something different. Trey Turner is a different guy than he was last year or the year before. Nick Castellanos, even, who's in a part-time role, is a different guy at the plate right now. Harrison Bader's coming in and had the best 2-month stretch that he's had in his career, and he is a spark plug for this team. So it's a different offense, and I think that playing in front of this home crowd, both during the regular season and the postseason, has been an advantage. It always, no matter where you play, no matter what jersey you don, it always comes down to the guys have to perform. And I think that they have an advantage at home. Doesn't guarantee anything, but I think it's a clear advantage when you look at the record and their performance in the regular and postseason.
Yeah, I think it's easier to play at home, no doubt. And look, I think
for sure
the Phillies Citizens Bank Park is the most electric atmosphere in baseball.
Damn right,
hands down. It's unbelievable. The place is going to be rocking, and it's been rocking.
But it's not a home field advantage in your mind.
It's that doesn't matter that much. I think we give home field. It's not like the Yankee Stadium is a home field advantage.
It's walking through a field for the Dodgers. It's just fun.
I think that we give way too much credit to home field advantage that isn't really deserved. And we've seen teams lose games at home, big time games at home, time and time again, even in the most electric atmosphere in baseball. And we go back to that Diamondback series, we're up 3-2, lose game 6 and game 7 at home. The Mets game 1 last year. I was at the World Series game against the Astros where the Phillies got no hit. That is unbelievable. It was electric. But then, even when they were getting no hit, it was electric. It doesn't matter as much as I think everyone makes it out to be. But look, the Phillies are a great team. And like Kyle just said, it's going to come down to how their bats perform, how their bullpen, starting pitching performs, everything that we know that actually wins you playoff games more than it is the 30,000+. What more than that? Was it 40,000+ that are going to be at Citizens Bank Park?
Yeah. I would just say this, Kyle, and we'll close up shop and get your thoughts on game 1. Yeah, it's different strokes for different folks. A team like the Dodgers, they're not going to be bothered by it. They just won the World Series last year.
That's right.
However, the Marlins came in for a playoff game.
That's true.
And, they're young and they had no idea what they were dealing with the other year that it happened, 2-3 years ago, whatever it was. And, look, it could get a little rowdy down there at Citizens Bank Park. And guys like Philly Catton don't make it a walk through the park. Hey, yo! I love it. Kyle, your thoughts? Game 1, my friend. Where we at?
Well, I think Shohei is a difference maker. They're going to unleash him. They said no limitations on him. He threw 6 no-hit innings last time they played each other a couple weeks ago. And the one thing that I think is going to end up being a difference maker for the Dodgers is they pitched Roki Sasaki out of the bullpen at the end of the season, and he averaged in that playoff game against the Reds to shut the door. He averaged 100 miles an hour on his fastball. Most guys don't average 100 miles an hour on their fastball. They can hit 100 regularly. This guy was averaging 100. He seems to be comfortable in that role. And you go from a team that really struggled in the bullpen in the second half, especially in September. I think they were like the 27th ranked bullpen when it comes to ERA and in the final month of the season. All of a sudden, you take a guy who has electric stuff and you put him at the back end where he can go 1 or 2. That's exciting for them. For the Phillies, it's a little scary, I would say. But ultimately, I think Chris Sanchez is going to be the reason that the Phillies win game 1, regardless. I know I just gave you a reason why, Ohtani to Sasaki could be something that's detrimental, but I think the Phillies, they're going to try and weigh on Shohei early, try and get him out of the game to get to that rough bullpen, or at least the rough patches of the bullpen before they're willing to turn the ball over to Sasaki, and Sanchez is going to go give you 7 strong innings like he always does.
Kyle, you're the best. I apologize getting to you a little bit late there. Ran a little long.
Okay, man.
But always great to get you on here, sir. Once again, Kyle's got a lot cooking. See him on the sidelines on Sunday. Read him over at the Philly Sports Network. Weekly guest, weekly contributor here on The Gambler. Busy time of year for Kyle Fisher. Nobody better. Always great to get you on, Kyle. Enjoy the game on Sunday. And let's talk on Monday. Let me get you on Monday's show.
All right. Let's do
go
it
Monday. Since you're home, I know you're home.
I'll be at the ballpark Saturday, and then I have a ticket covering the game, and then I have a ticket on Monday. So I'll see you Monday before I head down there as a fan.
I forgot.
Game 1.
We do have a game on Monday. So, yeah, that's right.
We'll figure it out, though. We'll be okay.
Yeah, you're the best. Hey, man, enjoy the game on Sunday. Continued success, man. Great job.
Appreciate you guys.
My man, there he is, Kyle Fisher on the Gambler stream. We keep it moving. Natalie Eganoff in studio right here on the Daily Ticket, plus Luke Arcanian in the 5 o'clock hour. More after this.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmett Smith on behalf of Depend, and I've got the perfect play. Run straight to your doctor's office for a life-changing catch. Because when prostate cancer is caught early, it's up to 99% treatable, and one blood test might be all it takes. And now through November, Depend is donating to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for select purchases. Talk about a great play.
From September 1st to November 30th, Depend is donating 25 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for Depend Shields Guards Real Fit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000 or in Mississippi.
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
We've got jam traffic on the Platte Bridge eastbound, just about the length heading into South Philly. And that was people avoiding 95 because 95 northbound backed up Girard Point Bridge at Penn's Landing from an earlier crash. And then stop and go from the Vine Expressway up to Bridge, southbound Jan Cotman to the Betsy Ross. Delays on the Blue Route, northbound 95 to Route 1 and southbound St. David's Immediate Swarthmore. Eastbound Schuylkill Jam Blue Route to Belmont, Montgomery Drive to South. Westbound Jan University to Vine and Boulevard to Belmont. Lara Totella, total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Whole Foods Market.
Now at Whole Foods Market, get 20% off boneless beef ribeye roast and steaks through October 7th. As always, there are no antibiotics ever. Pair with your favorite fall vegetables for a cozy dinner. While supplies last, shop in-store or online. Terms apply.
Stay tuned to Fox PHL The Gambler for the latest CEOs you should know.
Tony O'Donovan, President and CEO of Arkema Inc.
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
It's your Thursday Sports Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Week 5 of the NFL kicks off tonight in Los Angeles with the Rams taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Both teams 3-1, but the 49ers really banged up. No quarterback Brock Purdy. He is out with a toe injury. Mac Jones will get the start under center. The offense even more banged up without wide receivers Jawan Jennings and Ricky Pearsall, both out tonight with injuries as well. The Rams have shot up to an 8.5-point home favorite. Over under total points now 48.5. New to BetMGM? Sign up today using code MINUTE to receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for full terms. 21 plus to wager. New customer offer subject to eligibility requirements. Promotions vary by market. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. And that's your Thursday Sports Minute.
Your one stop for advertising? Call 844-844-IHEART.
Hey, fight fans, this is the notorious Conor McGregor. Saturday at the Prudential Center, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship is taking over, and I'll be there myself. I am not just a fan, I'm the owner, because this is the greatest fight show on earth, the most violent spectacle in all of combat sport. Celebrities, chaos, unbelievable fights. It's not just an event, it's a war zone of entertainment. You'd be mad to miss it. Saturday, Prudential Center. Get your tickets now at bkfc.com. I'll see you there.
I have heart failure, and being out of breath all the time was just too much.
My lower back pain was interrupting family time. My carpal tunnel syndrome was taking me away from work. That's why I talked to my cardiologist about my symptoms.
That's why I talked to my cardiologist.
That's why I talked to my cardiologist and discovered I had ATTR-CM, or transthyretin cardiac amyloidosis.
If you have heart failure and new or worsening symptoms, it could be ATTR-CM. ATTR-CM is a serious heart condition often accompanied by other non-heart-related symptoms. Talk to your cardiologist today and see what's possible. Vindamax, tafamidis, is a prescription pill taken once a day to treat adults with ATTR-CM to reduce death and hospitalization for heart problems. Tell your doctor about all your medications, medical conditions, and if you have liver problems or breastfeeding, pregnant, or plan to be. There are no known side effects with Vindamax. For prescribing information, call 1-877-278-9632. Learn more at Vindamax.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey man, you all right? Need me to call 911? No, call Top Dog Law. Get top dollar for your accident at TopDogLaw.com. Once again, that's TopDogLaw.com.
Welcome back. Daily Ticket with you here. Ins and outs. So, kids, you want to be in radio? Let me tell you what you got to do. I kid.
Starve.
Ramen noodles. Get used to it. Yeah, exactly.
They're a delicacy now.
Dude, we were just yapping about, coming up and no matter where you're at, like whatever profession, you got to earn your stripes, whatever. I think it's a little longer in this side of the world.
Yeah.
But
well, also in Philadelphia too.
Yeah.
Because we are a top market.
Yeah.
So
you know what they say about Philly, right?
What?
It's the place that you stop when you're trying to get from DC to New York.
Yeah,
That's
sounds
it.
about
Yeah,
right.
that's
Sounds about right. But we're here. We've been here, Sean.
Joining us in studio, host of Breakfast Before the Birds, heard every Sunday right here on The Gambler at 10 a.m.
Yes.
The one and only Miss Natalie Agadov.
Hello.
Nat, how we doing? Great to have you.
Good. Thanks for having me.
Roaring round of applause.
Thank you.
So, first of all, I
yeah.
want to say this. The show sounds great.
Thank you.
You are like, I've heard you before. I've watched you before. I know who Natalie is. But it was just different. I don't know. I mean, it's because it's on our station. It's what we're doing together. I don't know. So it's a little different, I guess. But when we left Penn State, we were driving home and I fired up the iHeartRadio app. And the first thing, Sam was in the front seat.
Oh.
I was like, damn, that girl is good.
Oh,
she
thank
has a
you.
radio voice.
Thank you.
Booming.
Thank you. You know what's funny is when I first, as we're talking about, our careers here and putting in the time, I'll never forget the first time I was on the air. I couldn't stand the sound of my voice.
Of course.
When I heard it back.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Now sometimes I still get sick of it. If I hear it, I'm like, all right, that's enough of me.
Yeah.
But but no, it's cool. And I'm having a blast on Sundays. I'm so glad John and Roy have been able to join me.
Oh man.
They've been excellent. We're having a lot of fun with it. I have some big plans for this weekend with Denver. So
Let's go.
if people aren't familiar with the concept of the show, it's called Breakfast Before the Birds. It's supposed to be fun, entertaining. And in addition to Eagles football, we'll talk about pregame and what our predictions and all that other good stuff. But I'm also cooking up meals based on the opposing team's cuisine. And it's
interesting.
Yeah, so the show is brought to you by Godshall's Bacon. So every episode will feature a meal that includes Godshall's beef bacon.
Hello.
I'm trying to
Bacon.
think what Denver would be.
Well,
Can we get a little tease?
First of all, I need to get in studio on Sunday.
Yes. Let me know who's coming. I'll cook for everyone.
Let's go. Good
I'll cook
grief.
for everyone.
So Denver,
Yeah.
where you're just going with this, Sam, a little open-ended. I'm trying to think. Help me out. What are we at as far as food is concerned? Do you have a
think
guess?
Of, like weed when you think about
geez.
that.
So
are you making brownies?
So somebody else suggested that. I said
That's
it.
all that's coming to mind.
I said it is Eagles green.
Yes.
Oh,
So
that's
there's
good.
a tie in there.
I'd love to see Jansen high on brownies
Right?
hosting a
Could you
radio show. That
imagine?
would be hysterical. And Roy, too, as well.
I'd be napping in the corner.
Yeah.
Be like, Nat, where's Nat?
Yeah,
She's snuggled up in the corner
That
over
would
there
not
giggling.
go well with me.
No.
I'd be like, no, if I didn't lose my mind,
Yeah.
then I would probably be snoozing.
Yeah,
yes.
and giggling
Or
in the
eating,
corner.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I'll be in the kitchen.
Yes.
So Denver has interesting cuisine. So they have I talked about this past Sunday, Rocky Mountain oysters. You guys know what they are, right?
Now we're talking,
Yeah.
baby.
Well, but so I looked them up. There's really no place to get them in Philadelphia. And also, I'm not going to go and get them from a butcher and cook them myself. That's just not going to happen because I'm going to cook at every meal that I have on the show.
Okay.
So I think this weekend they also have interesting things like ostrich in Denver, elk, which again,
Yes.
ostrich and elk, a little difficult to find in Philadelphia. So I'm going with bison burgers.
Yes.
Oh, I like that.
Bison bacon burgers.
Those are probably
right?
great
Wow.
too.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I'll be cooking up this Sunday. And of course, the Eagles face the Broncos, which, we'll see what happens.
Big one.
It's a big one. I know everybody's like, it's 4-0. How do you complain? I'm always going to complain, and I'm still worried about the passing game. I'm sorry.
All right. So is
You
that
can't sustain the rest of the season.
is that you're a big reason why you would complain? It's just specifically focused on the passing game and the fact that they're not able to put it together for 4 quarters.
Yes. Yeah. I would like to see a complete football game, which we haven't seen yet. But at the end of the day, they're 4-0. But it's just, it doesn't seem sustainable to me. Some of the wins, they've been like kind of ugly, but then they're beautiful at the same time. So I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Look, and what we do, I'm not, like I was telling him earlier, it's like this pregame show that I'm hosting with Legion, like the first segment, I'm not talking about anything negative, but I'm right there with you. Like in the back of my mind, I think to myself, like, hey, look, 2023 #1 is not that long ago. And I thought for sure that was a Super Bowl contender.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, S hit the fan, we lose 6 or 7.
I just said this to the new gentleman who works in the sales department. He came up and he was talking about the game on Sunday. And I literally said that. I said, it reminds me, it's reminiscent of 2023.
So you're getting that vibe right now. That's not good.
And what I was saying is we have a collective PTSD. I think that's why you and a lot of other people are saying that.
Always.
And it's because of the collapse that happened. I just think this is a completely different situation. Different coordinators. They've been there. It's a different culture after what we did last year.
Right.
I think I have way more confidence in this group than I did in 2023.
I know. I agree with you. And then you even think about just like you said, the coordinators. It seems like within the game, like they're really making the adjustments when they need to be made, which is encouraging, because what was it, not the Rams? Well, I mean, honestly, the Rams game, they had like, it was heavy on the offense in the beginning.
Jalen Hurts had 0 passing yards in the first half against the Rams.
Right. It was that's what it was. 0 against the first half. And then, the second half, they come back, they make the adjustments. So you do feel a little bit of confidence, because there was a time, and Sean, you remember this, in Eagles football, where we all we wanted to do was scream for adjustments. Like that's what we would scream. Those Andy Reid years, all the way back then, we'd be like, no in-game adjustments. That's what all the callers on sports talk radio would be saying. But stupid things like clock management, like we've come like so far from there. But at the same time, it's a long football's a long, tough season with a lot of injuries. And
to your point about adjustments, even think about how they executed the tush push last week. They didn't do an actual tush push.
It was the tush push mush.
It was the fake and all of that. It was just that's adjustments, even if it's week to week. We don't even need to do the tush push.
One of the things that's concerning me, and again, I'm not one of these guys that pounds the pavement watching tape, but there are plenty of people that I do trust that do. And one of them is Dan Orlovsky. And he had a good point. Like, he's like, dude, A.J. Brown is literally running 2 routes. That's it. It's way too simple right now what he's being asked to do.
Yeah.
And he's not getting open a lot of the time.
Right. So
I want to give Petulo all the, look, it's Sirianni's offense as well. I'm no dummy here. There's a lot of voices in there, but he's calling the plays. So I want to give him the opportunity and be patient here, but something is missing.
Something's missing. And I know it's probably been beat to death this whole week. The AJ Brown tweet that he put out earlier in the week.
Did apologize, though.
He did apologize.
Now, you don't hear that often.
No.
I like a person. Are you a person that could say that you're wrong?
Oh, yeah.
You could.
Yeah, I have to.
My wife does not say she's ever wrong.
Well, it honestly depends.
It depends on a relationship type deal or just in real world. Like, because this is not a male versus female thing. I just brought up my wife.
Yeah.
But there are plenty of dudes out there. As a matter of fact, I just worked with a guy this morning that literally said, he's like, I can't get it out of my mouth, but he was wrong and he wouldn't say it.
Oh no, I can do that. Because I'm
the same way.
I like to I own my stuff. You know what I mean? I feel like that's a good thing to be.
I'm right there with you.
Not be, you know what I mean? But like, I own my stuff. So I can admit when I'm wrong.
Okay.
I was very wrong about Carson Wentz. Very, very wrong.
Yeah.
As was I.
Yeah,
I was team Carson Wentz. And then you watch him Sunday morning, you're like, this is the Carson.
Were you guys anti Jalen Hurts when he got drafted?
Oh, I was anti Jalen Hurts up until last season.
Right.
After 2023 and how it ended, I was anti Jalen Hurts.
I wasn't anti Jalen Hurts when they drafted him. I was more confused organizationally because none of that made sense. And statistically, prior to that year, I mean, my God, what year was that now? 2019, 2021.
His rookie season.
Wow.
Prior to that, statistically, Wentz was still kind of putting up numbers.
Yes.
So there wasn't it didn't really seem like a logical thing. Now we know, and I can look back and say I was wrong.
Yeah.
So, you live and you learn.
The Carson Wentz stuff is funny. You're right about that.
You brought up Orlovsky. He was the guy beating the drum that Carson Wentz was this top 5 quarterback.
Well,
he lost a lot of credibility after that.
Because he did.
2020 rookie year for Jalen Hurts too.
Okay, yeah, but his first year as a starter was 2021.
Yeah. Because it was the 2020 draft, right?
Yeah.
That was
COVID draft.
Yeah, the COVID draft when Roger Goodell was in his basement and Jerry Jones was on a boat.
Yeah,
Remember that?
When they drafted, that boat.
I'm like, Roger Goodell, I'm like, you have billions of dollars and you got that wood paneling in your basement from like the 70s?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
It's good to be Jerry Jones. That's one thing we always know. All right, so we got Eagles and Broncos going off on Sunday, 1:00. Concerned, of course, about the offense right there with you. Defensively, a little nicked up by injuries. That's unfortunate. But I'll tell you what, Nat, again, like I said, I'm optimism. I'm trying to be optimistic and my glass is half full. Cooper DeJean, the chosen one.
Right.
I can't get enough of this kid.
Yeah.
Everybody was counting on his downfall. He was partying everywhere. He was with Sam Ostrey out at the shore and Margate. And that's, you close your eyes and you open them up and the next morning he's up there in Chester hanging out with the Philadelphia Union back to the ocean. He's doing it up.
Well,
and the man is just showing up every Sunday.
Well, and you know what? You can't worry about that because he's young enough to still be able to do that, right?
Yeah, right. For now, at least.
When you're in your early 20s, you bounce back. In my early 20s, would, be out till interesting hours of the morning, wake up and be at like a radio broadcast at 7 a.m.
22
years old.
Wow.
That was.
It's a different lifetime ago.
It's
for me.
Same,
Oof.
but like and now it's like, I'm like, I need my full 9 hours. Where's my melatonin? Where's my fan? I need my like white noise.
There's got to be some truth to the more fun off season you have, the better season you're going to have at that age.
At that age. At
Cooper DeJean, the most fun offseason of any
nobody could top it
in the world.
Yeah. You know what? And
his
the thing
jersey's
is,
hanging up all over down the shore.
Having an unbelievable season.
And as long as he gets it into, he's in gear in the season, that's all that matters to me. That, that's what the off time is for. So I'm excited for Coop. I also, with the Eagles defense, I find it interesting how they used to say that Fangio never blitzed, and now he's like blitzing all over the place.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that too, that he's kind of incorporating it more because he wasn't known to be that like blitz guy. And I think there's more now. I knew the stat. Can't recall it at the second. There's more now than there were last season, and he just keeps increasing the blitz.
Well, no Nolan Smith, so that's a big loss there.
Yeah.
And they got
Dean's back. Though.
Yeah, they got to figure out how to get after the quarterback. So Fangio's being a little creative, but I'll tell you what, when you have a guy like Coop and Quinyon too, no disrespect, who just won
Player of the Week.
Yeah.
Player of the Week.
This dude's disgusting. What a draft it was for Howie Roseman. We're saying that. Jahad Campbell. He killed the guy in that game.
He's the one guy who is getting to the quarterback.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun to watch this team play right now. All right. Your final thoughts for us here. You don't have to give us the prediction, but are you feeling like they remain perfect? Let's just say that.
I think they'll pull this one out.
Okay.
I do. I think they're going to win.
All right.
I think they're going to win.
So 10 a.m., you tune in right here. Well, you could tune in at 9 a.m. for the Green Legion radio show.
Of course.
Hosted by yours truly.
Yeah.
And then we lead right into Natalie with Breakfast Before the Birds, and she'll be joined by Roy Burton and John Jansen, and they'll close up shop and count down to payout.
Yes.
From 11 to 1. So we got your programming right here on The Gambler every Sunday. Now, if you would not mind, let's shift gears, Nat. Let's talk. Well, first of all, let me do this real quick. As we have another run on the board, the Detroit Tigers went yard and now have a 2-1 lead in the bottom of the sixth right now. So top of the sixth, they went yard. 2-1 lead. The Tigers are currently on top of the Guardians as we sit here.
Amazing.
2 more elimination games coming up this afternoon/evening. However, on Saturday, game 1, Dodgers and Phillies, Shohei Ohtani, who's unbelievable to watch. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Sanchez getting a start for the Phillies. How are we feeling, Nat? A lot of people are nervous. There's a lot of nervous energy I'm sensing right now.
I am not nervous.
Oh, wow.
I am less nervous than I was last year.
Confident?
I'm feeling pretty confident.
Really?
I'm feeling pretty
I'm
confident.
not getting that a lot on the timeline.
I'm feeling I'm feeling pretty confident. I feel like the Dodgers, we beat them. We know how to beat the Dodgers. We just beat them in the last series.
Yeah.
And their bullpen is super flimsy right now. It's not super flimsy, but it's not as strong as they would need it to be. I think they had 6 players between the 2 games with the Reds, the 6 pitchers between the 2 games with the Reds to get that sweep done. So I think that we offensively, especially at the bottom of the lineup, really figured out how to get the momentum going towards the end of the summer into September. The Armando Sosa having that game, like we're seeing all these key components who for the past 3 years in the playoffs couldn't they couldn't hit. I don't know. There's a euphemism there. Couldn't hit anything. And I think it'll be balanced, and we're home, and it's going to be great. I love Red October.
Love Red October. Nothing better. So I was thinking about this, and Sam, bring you in as well on this one, because you saw my text message to the group. Like for me, I'm putting Harper to the side. I'm putting everybody to the side, and I'm focusing on the man who hit 56 bombs.
Yes.
And it comes down to Kyle Schwarber. Is that unfair? Is it fair? Because I think he is the most important piece for the Phillies to advance, the Phillies to do bigger things. I guess you could look at pitching no matter what. I get it. But if we're talking guys in the lineup day to day, I have to look at Schwarber above all. Schwarber has to have an unbelievable postseason. Has to.
I'm with you, but it's going to come down to the whole lineup. Like Schwarber to keep that pace that he was in terms of the home run hits throughout the postseason, it's a little unrealistic. He has to be a power hitter for sure.
It's real. Well, he was runner-up for the MVP, National League MVP. Hasn't been crowned this year. How come I tune in to Shohei Ohtani? He's hitting 2 home runs in a game. He's coming up with the big hits.
It's the Reds. It's not the pitching that the Phillies are going to show. It's not the pitching the Dodgers and those other opponents, if they advance, are going to show.
But do you think it's unfair?
I think Schwarber's important. He's definitely a key piece of the puzzle. He's been our best player all season.
Yeah.
Trey Turner also has to be the Trey Turner pre-injury. Like he led the NL in batting average. He needs to get on base consistently. We need the October Bryce Harper that we've come to love in this city.
Yeah.
We need him to be great. Bryson Stott, to Natalie's point earlier, he's playing his best baseball heading into the postseason.
Yeah.
Guys like Harrison Bader, who's cooled off a little bit, but all those guys, it's going to have to come to lineup 5 through 9.
Yes.
It's going to be as important as anything. And that's when they really slipped up last season.
Exactly.
And the year before, against the Diamondbacks. If all 9 guys, it's really going to take the entire lineup to put bats together, put score and when runners are in scoring position. If they can do all that, then they'll be fine. But it's not just on 1 or 2 guys in this lineup. This whole lineup has to contribute.
I disagree. It's on Kyle Schwarber.
All of it on him. So if he doesn't perform, don't pay him. Right?
I think he's not going anywhere.
But
right?
because of, again, I think, I always go season to season and kind of look at their the peaks and valleys of the team. And the end of August into September last year, the Phillies were not great. They kind of were on the upswing,
right?
And Kyle, like I know him, Kyle's momentum. I think that they're ready this year. I think that they're ready and can and will make the World Series.
I like it. Well, look, this is a tough start for the playoffs to open up, but we were talking about this earlier. I like it.
Yeah.
Let's see what we have versus the best competition that's out there, and that's American League and National League included.
Yeah.
The Phillies and Dodgers.
I think everyone around the league is looking at this series as the World Series.
Oh,
and look,
1,000%.
anything can happen in any series.
Yeah, and there's going to be
whoever
letdown.
wins this series.
There'll be a letdown in the
NLCS.
The Brewers are going to beat either the Dodgers or the Phillies. Watch.
The Brewers advance.
Well,
this statistic is one that I really like. Phillies posted highest OPS, slugging percentage, and home runs in the 7th inning and later in all the MLB.
They like to fight.
So I hate it. The Eagles are doing it too.
Yeah.
But
I think that's really important.
And because we're talking about the bullpen.
Exactly.
That's when the Phillies will be
because we might get down early because their starting pitch and Shohei might outperform Christopher Sanchez for sure, and Ranger and all those guys. But the bullpen, once you get into those late innings and the Dodgers bullpen's out there, we got to keep putting bats together. And how great they've been in those final 3 innings, like you just pointed out. There's reason for optimism, even if we're trailing through the first 5 innings.
Oh, I'm optimistic. I told you, glass is half full as always over here.
Yeah.
Let's go, Schwarber.
And Red October, the energy is just so different in the city.
So great.
And it's crisp out now.
It's still a little
crisp.
hot. Still a little hot out. It was like 70, sun was shining.
It's crisp.
It's getting
It's not
day.
summer weather, but
It's
it's
supposed
still.
to be 40 tonight.
Yes, woohoo!
It's the
Already
holiday.
40, yeah. I was
I miss
sweating my
summer.
ass
I
off
miss
yesterday. I'm not lying about
I'm ready for Christmas.
Don't take my heat away. Don't take my heat away from me.
It's funny. I will say this. I pulled up ESPN.com and it says which one player must deliver to put Philadelphia in the NLCS. It's not Bryce Harper. It's not Kyle Schwarber. It's not Sanchez. It's Trey Turner. So Sam
Yeah.
Oster. How about that?
Yeah.
I don't agree with it, but that's all right. We'll go with that. All right. Nat, always great to get you on a Thursday.
Thanks. You guys are the best.
What do you got cooking up? What do you got cooking up and not breakfast before the birds?
Oh, well, so I'm actually heading out of here and I'm going to go to McGillen's.
Yes. Tell us about this.
Okay. So
Forgot about this.
many moons ago, probably 2023, I got this email and it's, hey, we're doing a documentary on McGillen's, which is the oldest bar in Philadelphia.
Love it.
Would you like to be a part of it? Because there's a picture that surfaced of myself
Come on.
and Jason Kelsey
At McGillen's.
at McGillen's from many, many moons ago.
But
I mean, I'm talking
not radio work, or is this out of
Oh no, we
office?
were both just there
Oh,
on a
just
Sunday
hanging.
night.
Okay.
This was 20 and we weren't there together, to be
No,
clear.
that's fine, fine,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, me and my friends used to go there every Sunday night. Again, this was probably like my mid-20s.
Is this karaoke night?
It's karaoke Sunday night
Are
at
they
McGillen's.
Wednesdays too?
I think they still might do Wednesdays,
Our
but
guy Beef sings karaoke down
on
at
Sunday
McGillen's
nights. So it's one of my favorite pastimes.
Okay.
I don't I'm not there as much
How many
as I
days
used
does it take you
to.
to recover after Sunday
Oh.
nights at McGillen's?
Now, I mean, Wednesday. Wednesday, I would
still
resurface.
sweating on Wednesdays, like,
Yeah.
oh man, I gotta go to work.
But me and my friends, I guess in my late 20s, we had like a stretch. And this was when, it was like the Jason Kelsey, Connor Barwin was still on the team. Those guys would just be out and about. Bo Allen, they'd just be bouncing around downtown. And the one night we were all at McGillen's and everyone's singing and it was a good time. So that picture was on the internet and the McGillen's people reached out to me. I said, I've been going there since I turned 21. So my official title, it seems, in the documentary is sports media personality and green beer enthusiast.
Yes.
So with these things, you never know what they're going to put as the interview. So I'm excited to see how it comes out.
This
I'm
the
so
premieres tonight?
Yeah, the premieres
wow,
tonight
At McGillen's?
At McGillen's.
Oh,
so
that's great.
Where
I'm
can we
thankful to be
watch
a part of it. I'm gonna find all that out.
Okay.
I don't have that information yet. But I'm hoping that maybe a link or who knows, maybe it'll be on like Netflix or something. I don't know.
Bring some green beer back with you.
I
all right?
will.
Let's go.
I will.
It's funny that you saw Jason Kelsey there because I also saw Jason Kelsey there.
Yeah.
But probably 3 years ago, like pretty soon after, right before he really blew up.
Yeah.
He was just walking down.
Yeah.
He was at the upstairs, obviously had his own private areas, walking down. And my buddy actually knows his wife really well. So he went up and talked to him for a little bit. But he just walked in and out of that place. And this was probably 3 years ago.
Yeah.
To think about the security he has with him now. I
Oh.
saw him recently at Villanova for the Roommates podcast. He has an entire team of security.
Well,
now.
remember what happened at Penn
Everyone's
State.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of incidents, but he is just on a whole nother stratosphere of superstar now compared to like 3 years ago. And he was just walking around McGillen's. It's crazy the
Yeah.
trajectory he's been on.
I know, but these were the good old days when we were all just one and the same, drinking green beer and singing on the microphone.
What's your go-to karaoke song?
So I love a Silver Springs.
Wow.
Silver
Strong.
Springs.
Love
Yeah.
it. Love it. Nice.
Yeah. Silver Springs, Fleetwood Mac, or I'll do I have another one, but it's kind of obscure.
What is
It's called Different Drum by the Stone Ponies, Linda Ronstadt.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a pull.
Yeah, I
Don't know it,
Sean,
but I'm not in the
you
head
think
yet.
it's just sports. I'm like a music gal too.
What
so
about Unwritten? I was talking about someone the other day. We were
No.
both like, no, you don't like
no,
Unwritten?
that song was played out when I was in college,
Well,
2009.
I guess my era still likes
I don't
it.
know
Oh,
what
your
Unwritten
era
is.
loves
We
it.
love clearly you don't
You
like
do.
it.
What's Unwritten? Who's
The
it by?
rest is still unwritten. This is why I talk and don't sing.
But,
Natasha Bedingfield.
Oh, okay.
You've heard it. It's like
Yeah.
a classic ball
Gotcha.
song.
All right.
Classic.
Yeah.
Natalie's clearly not a fan.
No.
Look, it's a great song, but
Overplayed.
it was played out when I was in college.
That's
So.
like Mr. Brightside for me.
Yes, that makes
yeah.
sense. Yeah.
I still jam it. All right, Nat, have fun down at McGillen's.
Thank
Can't wait to
you.
hear more about it on Sunday. Breakfast before the birds
Woohoo.
every Sunday right here on The Gambler. The great Natalie Eganoff. Of
Thank
course,
you.
Roy Burton, John Jansen will be holding it down as well this Sunday. So make sure you tune in and check us out on The Gambler for your Sunday consumption. All right. A man who knows what to do on a microphone, especially at McGillen's karaoke style, Luke Arcani. We'll talk some Phillies deep dive, Phils and Dodgers on the other side. More after this.
If you can wager on it, We're talking about it. It's The Gambler.
The Bonus Bucks Cash Contest is back. That's right. Every weekday, we're dropping code words and your shot to score a quick stack of bonus bucks. Hear it, text it, and you could be counting cash before the day's over. It's easy to play. Big money on the line. 9 times a day, top of the hour. Hear the keyword, and you could win $1,000. Your shot at bonus bucks all fall long right here on The Gambler.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
24 monthly bill credits on Experience Beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits ended. Balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel finance agreement. iPhone 17 Pro, 256 gigs, $1,099.99, and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1H2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Make your next gathering unforgettable at Randall's Restaurant in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. From intimate birthday dinners to corporate meetings, we're now booking private events for groups of 10 or more. Exceptional food, personalized service, perfect for any occasion. Reserve your private party today at randallslegacy.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Prime Big Deal Days are happening on October 7th and 8th with savings up to 40% off. This is your chance to grab that item you've been thinking about. It's Prime Big Deal Days, coming soon, October 7th and 8th.
Partly cloudy overnight and another chilly one with temperatures falling back into the 40s for the surrounding suburbs of Philadelphia, while the city pulls back to about 53 degrees. That would be a degree cooler than we were early this morning. And then sunshine and high clouds to round out the week on Friday. Seasonably warm 74 with the 80s returning over the weekend. I'm meteorologist Adam Joseph with your 6 ABC forecast.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
It's your Thursday Sports Minute brought to you by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Week 5 of the NFL kicks off tonight in Los Angeles with the Rams taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Both teams 3-1, but the 49ers really banged up. No quarterback Brock Purdy. He is out with a toe injury. Mac Jones will get the start under center. The offense even more banged up without wide receivers Jawan Jennings and Ricky Pearsall, both out tonight with injuries as well. The Rams have shot up to an 8.5-point home favorite. Over under total points now 48.5. New to BetMGM? Sign up today using code MINUTE to receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for full terms. 21 plus to wager. New customer offer subject to eligibility requirements. Promotions vary by market. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. And that's your Thursday Sports Minute.
Football season is back, yes, but off the field, life can hit even harder at times. Car wreck, slip and fall, work injuries, yeah, they all happen. Don't sit on the sideline after being injured, though. Only one person to call. Call attorney Big Al, 1-800-HURT-123. Big Al gets the job done, and he picks up 24/7. Big Al brings the heat both on and off the field, and he wins. That's the most important part. One more time, 1-800-HURT-123. Call Big Al today.
Think Verizon, the best 5G network, is expensive? Think again. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store, and we'll give you a better deal. Now, what's to do with your unwanted bills? Maybe turn them into paper airplanes headed to See You Never AT&T and T-Mobile. Jokes aside, the best 5G network has you covered with the most ways to save on plans, streaming, and phone deals. So bring in your bill to your local Verizon store, and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on Root Metrics Root Score report dated 1H 2025. Your results may vary. Must provide a postpaid consumer mobile bill data within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person redeeming the deal. Additional terms apply.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Number 1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WDAS and WD273D Philadelphia is Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler.
Roki Sasaki sets and fires. Soft liner to short. Betts is there. That's a win for LA. The Dodgers are going to the National League Division Series. The Dodgers are going to Philadelphia as they move on in their quest to run it back in 2025.
Let's go. Bring it on, baby. Bring it on. Dodgers and Phillies game 1 coming your way either 6:08 or 6:38 p.m. on Saturday evening. Joining us right now on the Gambler stream. He covers the Phillies for us here on the Gambler and does a great job for the folks over at crossingbroad.com as well. Luke Arcani. And Luke, I have to update this. The boys have blown it open. The Dodgers are about to roll past the Guardians here in game 3, do or die. It is now 5-1, top of the 7th, runners on first and third, 1 out for the Tigers. Had them in the series, took them for game 3, and let's do it again. Home. Another base hit, 6-1, Tigers on top. Everybody was buying the Guardians, and I understand why. They were hot coming in. But when you roll Scooble out there for game 1 and all you have to do is win 2, yeah, I like the Tigers' chances. Credit to the Guardians forcing 3 here. But all in all, this was an easy wager, and I don't say that often. So let's go Tigers.
Brace, making the boys some money.
Let's go.
There's Tigers.
Hey. All right, enough of the Tigers. Let's talk Padres and Cubs, though. Do you have a take for us on the Padres and Cubs? Because for my money, it was a flip of a coin, Luke. I just was saying to myself that, you know, I like the Cubs. I like the defense, but I won't be shocked if the Padres win game 3 today.
I don't have a take on the game. My only take is whoever wins today's game beats the Brewers.
I like that.
I think whoever wins today probably beat Brewers. I just don't think the Brewers can pitch. They have a Jose Quintana and they have a Jacob Mizorowski who's never pitched in the playoffs. I don't know. I don't love the Brewers. I think they play very good fundamental baseball. But I don't think fundamental baseball wins you a championship. I think
no, got to hit bombs.
Yeah. I think hitting bombs and being able to pitch can probably win. And granted, I don't think the Cubs can pitch either. That's why I think I give the Padres a better shot to beat the Brewers and the Cubs. But That's about it. I don't know. I'm not scared of any three of these teams left on the other side, because I think the best two teams left in the postseason are about to play on Saturday at either 6:08 or 6:38.
Yep, you're right. Let's talk about those Dodgers and Phillies here. And of course, I think a lot of people out there, and myself included to a point, I know he's pitched better. But Shohei Ohtani's been electric. He's been insane his last 4 starts, 19 2/3 innings, only 1 run, 27 strikeouts, 4 walks. He's been pretty damn good as advertised these last 4 starts. And the ramping up period is officially over. He's not on any restrictions pitching or pitches or innings. And I fully expected that. But at the same time, he is a superstar. You never know. But the key to this Game 1/series for my money, Luke, is you got to get to the bullpen. Easier said than done with a starting pitcher like Shohei Ohtani, but he's going number 3 in the rotation. Your expectations for Game 1, where are we at? And do you agree with me? The key for the Phillies to win this Game 1, win this series, is get to the Dodgers bullpen.
Yeah. Game 1's the biggest game of this series. The Phillies this year, and there's been a stat thrown around from a few different guys over the last few weeks. It's kind of been counted all season, and noted because it's so glaring. When the Phillies have won Game 1 of a series this year, they've won 30 series. When they've lost Game 1, they've won 5 series. You have to win Game 1 of this series. If you drop a home, granted, you know the old saying, if you're the lower seed, you take one of the first 2 games, that home field advantage is gone. You're good. But Game 1 is more important than Game 2 to me. You have to go out there and set the tone. I understand it's Ohtani. I understand it's, Freddie Freeman in the bank and a hot Mookie Betts coming off the wild card and a really good September for Mookie. But the Phillies don't have the, excuse anymore. They have the deepest lineup they've had. They have probably the better bullpen that they've had over the last 3-4 years. And they have, it's crazy to say, they probably have the hottest pitching rotation they've had in the playoffs, even without Zach Wheeler. Sanchez has proven himself as an ace. He gets to go out there and do it on Saturday. Place is going to be insane. And if you go out there Saturday and you lay a dud with a crowd that you're going to get on Saturday, that might be the craziest crowd you've seen at Citizens Bank over the last 4 years on Saturday. Shohei Ohtani's first ever playoff start on the mound at Citizens Bank. It's going to be absurd over there. And you just have to set the tone. You have to go out there. I don't care if you win 1-0 or if you win 14-0. You just have to find a way to win. And I think they're in a pretty good spot too. The guys look loose Wednesday night at the inner squad. I think they're ready. Everyone's healthy. Harper obviously went yard. But Game 1's the biggest game of their season so far. And it's crazy because I think you could go to Game 2 and say Game 2 is the biggest season and Game 3. And I think people say that every series, but I truly think Game 1 is going to be the biggest game that they play this entire series, because you just have to go out there and you have to set the freaking tone.
Luke, not to be negative Ned over here.
Here we go.
But I do want to talk about the starting pitching. And we know how great they've been. I mean, even without Zach Wheeler, like maybe the best starting rotation in the league. And like you were talking about, Christopher Sanchez has turned into a legitimate one, a legitimate ace in this league. But is it a little different when you get to the postseason? Like Christopher Sanchez does not have an extensive postseason history. Even when you go down to like Jesus Luzardo, who's going to go Game 3 in all likelihood, he doesn't have a ton of postseason experience. Is there any concerns? We've seen aces falter in the postseason before. Clayton Kershaw, even our own Aaron Nola has had great regular seasons and sometimes been a little worse in the postseason. Is there any concern that not a lot of postseason history could end up biting Christopher Sanchez when he takes the mound in Game 1?
I think it's always there. I think if you have a guy in Sanchez who's only made a handful of postseason starts, one or two, I think it's there. But granted, this is also Shohei Ohtani's first start in the postseason. He's never pitched in the playoffs as a starter. So I think it can sort of go both ways there. But I think what I've seen and what I think makes me confident from the pitching side is that the guys that the Phillies are throwing out have proven that they want the moment. They haven't proven that they can rise in the moment, I think, other than Ranger. They haven't proven that yet just because they haven't really been there a ton. But these guys have proven that they want it. Sanchez battled in the postseason last year and is coming off the best season of his career. He's probably going to finish second in Cy Young. If they cared any bit about team success in the Cy Young, he would win it. Jesus Luzardo, every time that he's gotten into a big game regular season, he pitched better and better. If you go look at Luzardo's stats against playoff teams versus non-playoff teams, it's pretty insane. He's a lot better against better teams. He's an emotional guy on the mound, and I think that can really help in a postseason setting. And then obviously I think we all know the postseason history from Ranger Suarez. I mean, the guy has one of the lowest going into last postseason. He had one of the lowest ERAs in the history of baseball in the postseason with a minimum of I think like 30 innings. So, I mean, yes, I think it'll always be there, just because you don't have a Zach Wheeler and a prime Aaron Nola going out there. But I think these guys have proven that they want the ball, and I trust the guys that have shown you all year that they want the ball in the postseason rather than the opposite.
Yeah, look, I would say my biggest concern going into game one for Christopher Sanchez, and I'm going to answer my own concern here, is if he would be too hyped, too over, fired up, right? The emotions, and all of a sudden he's not able to, his off-speed pitch isn't really an off-speed pitch, that sort of deal. I don't have that, worry. I think Christopher Sanchez is a very even-keeled dude. Has the All-Star game experience correct this year. Yeah. So I think that's going to help out a little bit maybe. But, and on the flip side, unfortunately, I think Shohei Ohtani is the guy that keeps his emotions in check too as well. So I don't think, the either starting pitcher is going to be bothered. What are we feeling like as far as offense is concerned? And when we look at the numbers, Luke, again, I don't think too many people are caring about this sort of deal, but we are a sports gambling show, 7.5. Do we think that this is going to be a knock them down, drag them out type game one where it's tight 3-2? Or do we see an offense get going? I tend to believe that we're going to see some runs scored in game one.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I tend to lean towards the up there on the 7.5. I just think, I think both pitchers are great. I think everyone knows that. But I think there's also two really good lineups on the other side of that. And really? I mean, you saw what the Dodgers did to those Red starters. And granted, the fact that Zach Littell was pitching in a postseason game tells you all you need to know about the Cincinnati Reds. But, they knocked around Hunter Green a little bit. The Phillies have hit Dodgers pitching pretty well. And, I think it goes back into the Dodgers bullpen conversation. And, if the Dodgers were to get an early lead, say a 2-1, 3-1 early lead, but Ohtani gets out of there fairly early, I like the Phillies' chances against the Dodgers bullpen. So I would tend to lean towards the over there in this game one. I think both pitchers are great once again, but I think this could be one of those games where, it could be 1-0 through the first 4 or 5 innings. And then all of a sudden it just boom goes. Second Sanchez gets out, and then Ohtani gets out of there. I think these guys can go. So I would tend to lean towards the over rather than the under. Yeah.
It's funny. I just thought to myself, how it's going to be in that ballpark. I will be there on Saturday. Very, very lucky
in there.
Yeah. Well, if they go 5 innings of scoreless baseball, I think fans are going to go absolutely berserk. They will boo. They will boo.
Here's the thing. If Phillies, and you can post this on any social media you want, if Phillies fans boo after 5 innings of Christopher Sanchez shutout baseball, not a single.
I was saying the other way. If Shohei is shutting out the Phillies,
I don't think they'll boo.
I'm telling you right now, their fan base are going to get out.
What everyone's saying is
wait, hold on. If it's a 0-0 game, you think they'll boo?
No,
after
not
5 innings?
0-0. I wasn't even putting into the equation.
Every single one of those fans should be kicked out if that's the case.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going off of the history with this team in postseason. I feel like this fan base is just like, no, it's unacceptable. Get after it. Be aggressive. I think look, they're gonna. That's the different. Yeah, that's the different vibe with this team right here, right now. It's not about manufacturing runs. It's not about station to station. It's give me the bombs. It's get Kyle Schwarber up to the dish. It's get one of the hottest sticks in the game and Trey Turner to the plate. Bryce Harper, we know what he's capable of. Like, that's what this is all about. With that being said, Luke, bring it over to the question that I asked Natalie earlier, and I feel like, come on, man, 56 in a regular season, and we were, beating the drum for your NL MVP chances. We always knew Shohei is going to win it, and that's fine. But Kyle Schwarber could very well have been the NL MVP, bar none, the MVP of this Phillies team. So here we are. I see Shohei Ohtani lighting it up, hitting 2 home runs in the game, coming up with big base hits. I have the same damn expectations for Kyle Schwarber. I'm sure he does as well. So I'm not saying anything out of order. For my money, he is the most important piece for the Phillies to win this series versus the Dodgers. You could throw pitching in there, but let's say for this conversation, take the pitching out of it. Where do you stand on that one? Who's the most important batter player for you in this series?
Yeah, I disagree with you a little bit. I don't think it's Schwarber. And I think it's 5 through 9 in the lineup. I think it's the 5 through 9 hitters. And really, I'm going to get to my lineup prediction in a few minutes, but if my prediction is right, then it's 4 through 9. Kyle Schwarber led off last year's NLDS Game 1 against the Mets with an absolute nuke off of Senga. Phillies lost that game. Kyle Schwarber led off Game 7 of the NLCS against the Diamondbacks with an absolute nuke. The Phillies lost that game.
Damn.
Kyle Schwarber can hit. Kyle Schwarber can hit however he wants. If the production top to bottom is not there, I think the last 3 years have proven is that 2 sluggers can't slug your way to a World Series. Bryce Harper is top 10 all time in postseason OPS. The Phillies haven't won a World Series. Kyle Schwarber is in the top 20 of that stat. Dodgers last year. Shohei Ohtani last year in the playoffs hit 230 with a 760 OPS, and the Dodgers won the World Series. It's because they got production from a Kike Hernandez, from a Max Muncy, from an Andy Pajes, from guys like that. You need 5 through 9 to hit. And luckily, the 5 through 9 guys are actually the ones hitting the most right now, at least off of September. Alec Boehm, 17 for 37 over his final 9 games. Marsh hit 340 in September. Stott hit 313 with 4 homers. Stott is top 10 in the league in OPS since, I believe it's July 24th, which was the birth of his second son. He's been one of the best hitters in baseball over then. It comes down to the depth. And yes, obviously, if Kyle Schwarber goes 0 for 13 in the NLDS, they're not going to win the series. But,
hey, look at what Aaron Judge is doing with the Yankees.
Well, Aaron Judge is one of the biggest postseason frauds of all time. That's probably why.
Pretty alarming.
So that's what it really comes down to for me. Your Harrison Baders, your Brandon Marshes, your right fielder, whether that's Kepler or Castellanos. And I do want to get into that a little bit because the Phillies have been playing Kepler against righties in right field, which I think has been the right move. See, I think we know how the last few months have gone for Nick Castellanos, and it's actually been the opposite for Max Kepler. He's really hit the ball well over the last, I would say, like 2 or 3 months. But Nick Castellanos in 12 NLDS games with the Phillies, .396 average with 19 hits, 5 home runs, 12 RBIs, and 8 runs scored in 12 NLDS games. For some reason, Nick Castellanos goes crazy in the NLDS. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. Maybe it was the team. Both years it was against the Braves, so maybe that's it. But there's something there to that. I don't know. I still believe that Max Kepler will be in right field on Saturday starting over Nick Castellanos. But part of me also sits there and says, I think there's a possibility that if the Kepler thing goes south early, I think you could see an early hook. And even if they threw a righty out there in game 2, I think that could potentially maybe be a Nick Castellanos start.
All right, we'll continue with that thought, because I did want to ask you what your expectations are for the outfield and for the lineup in game 1 here, as we will get that lineup, of course, coming up on Saturday. But if you had to look into your crystal ball, where are you at right now, Luke? And I've had few discussions over the last few weeks about Castellanos. He has had some good runs in the postseason, but we have to be fair. He's also had some bad runs in the postseason. So I don't want to make him out to be Barry Bonds. I also don't think it's that bad of a deal if he's coming off the bench to be a pinch hitter. Like, I'm sure there's some numbers that are going to be thrown back in my face on that, but I think Castellanos in a pinch hitting role is somebody that you can probably get up there, and you know what? If he comes up with that base hit, that could lead to a little bit more of a spark. I get that vibe from Casty. So I don't think it's all, it ends badly if Casty isn't starting this game, but people disagree with me on that one. We'll see what happens. Your thoughts, though?
Yeah. My biggest thing with Castellanos is that no matter how he's hitting, either regular season or postseason, he's never afraid of the moment. Whether it's the World Series. Listen, he might not have a good World Series, but he's not going to be afraid of going up and hitting the baseball. There's some guys over the past years. I mean, for example, Bohm last year. I thought Bohm was scared of the moment last year, and I think that's partially why he got benched. Castellanos, I don't feel that way. So, in a pinch hitting role, if the Dodgers go to a lefty in the 5th inning, and the Phillies get Shohei Ohtani out somehow in the 5th inning, and they go to a lefty reliever, and it's set to have Max Kepler up, Nick Castellanos is going to be hitting there. And he's going to be in right field for the rest of the game. So I think that's kind of where it's at with Casty. I still think Kepler will start on Saturday just because what they've been doing has been working. But if there's one thing about Castellanos, he's never afraid of the moment. And I'll tell you this, he's never afraid to swing the bat either. And when you're in the playoffs, I understand, everyone's favorite word this time of year is, the Phillies chase rate. That's their favorite saying. I'd rather guys chase than go up there and look at a called third strike right down the middle. So Castellanos isn't afraid of the moment. And whether he's in there or not, he's going to get some important at-bats, whether it's as a starter or as a pinch hitter.
Well, I will just say this. I think the year's 2022. I could be mistaken on that, but the Phillies have the most postseason games played in major leagues since that time. It could be 2022, 2023. Yeah, something like that. But
probably.
I'm not afraid of any of these guys from the Phillies' perspective to be afraid of the moment, to be honest. I'm
not either. I think Bohm last year. I think Alec Bohm last year is a lot different player than Bohm was this year. Alec Bohm was going through a horrendous second half skid last year, and I think that carried over into the playoffs, and it just didn't favor him at all.
I want Aaron Dolan getting doused with champagne, Luke.
Something.
That's what I want.
Something.
Last year's skid.
I don't think she's responsible because, it did happen last year. Who knows? He put it together. Look, it's a different animal. It's a different animal out there. Saw a guy drop a ball in center field for the Guardians yesterday.
Yeah, because the Guardians. Because the Guardians are life or death, and they have to have a guy make his MLB debut in Game 2 of the Wild Card Series. That center fielder for them yesterday. That was his first ever Major League Baseball game.
To be fair to Bohm and to Luke's point too, it's like Yeah, maybe the moment was too big for him. He also was really bad down the stretch of last season. We were having conversations in the offseason whether we were going to trade. They were going to trade him or not up until the deadline. So it's like it wasn't just he was playing really good baseball. He stepped up to the playoff plate and then started folding. He was really bad down the stretch, and that cold streak led over into the playoffs and his eventual benching.
There's a lot to like about this team right now, and it's just they're going to need everything. All systems have to be go to beat the Dodgers. The Dodgers are now the favorite to win it all, rightfully so. We knew that would be the case. We knew that they were going to handle the Reds 2-0. They did, and here we are. And I know everyone is saying the same thing. Like, this should be something different. Should be the CS. I don't give a damn. Like, bring it on. Let's go.
Yeah, I wish it was. And I'm not even saying that because I wish it was the NLCS. I'm saying that because I wish this was a 7-game series. Okay. This matchup deserves to be 7 and not 5. But
are you under the same camp that I think Sean and myself are, and a lot of baseball fans around the league, that this is the World Series? I mean, anything can happen. Yeah. We saw the collapse against the Dodgers, but this is the World Series. Whoever wins this series will be the eventual World Series champion.
I agree. Yeah, I think whoever wins this series is going to win the World Series. It's going to be a war, man. Like I don't have any other word, verb, adjective, whatever for it. This is going to be an all-out war. I think this series goes 5, and it's going to be. I think Game 5 is going to be a nail biter. I think every inning is going to be a nail biter. We are going to want to rip our hair out at parts of this series. We're going to go nuts at parts of this series, but. Once again, I think Saturday, not tomorrow, is the biggest game of their season. Whether this goes 5, 4, 3, anything, I think Game 1 is the biggest.
I'm going to do my part down there, especially pregame.
Please.
Live from the tailgate. Got Penn State football on the TV. We're hanging out in the parking lot. Beautiful. Oh, my God. We got San Diego weather outside right now today, the next day, the next day, the next day after that. 75.
Talk about frauds.
Good pull, San Diego.
Penn State.
Yeah, Penn State is.
Would Games 5 be Saturday, Luke?
Yes. So Game 1 Saturday. Game 2 is Monday. They have an off day Tuesday.
And Wednesday, Thursday, yeah.
Off day Tuesday. Game 3 and 4 Wednesday, Thursday. Off day Friday. Game 5, if necessary, would be on Saturday. But hey, one game at a time. One game at a time right now. Yeah. That's all they can do. I did sort of throw together a lineup of how I think they're going to roll out Saturday.
All right.
So I have Trey leading off, obviously playing short. Rob Thompson said the second Trey is healthy, he's back in the leadoff spot. No ifs, ands, or buts. I completely agree with them.
Philadelphia. That's like the song that's playing right now as we're going through the lineup here. That says in Bank Park.
Schwarber hitting second DH, obviously. Harper hitting third, first base. I think Alec Boehm's going to hit fourth to start this series. I think they're going to ride a hot September. And I think it's probably their best option based off of right-handed bats as of right now. Granted, if Bader goes out and goes 3 for 4 and Boehm comes out and goes 0 for 5, then I think Game 2 they could switch things around. But I have Alec Boehm hitting fourth. I have Marsh hitting fifth playing left. I have Harrison Bader hitting sixth playing center. I have Real Muto obviously behind the plate, seventh. Max Kepler I do have in right field hitting eighth, and Bryson Stott playing second, hitting ninth. That's kind of where I'm at. I think the only potential switches there are if they were to play Casty. I still don't think that's going to happen. But maybe they flip Bader JT, but I don't think having Bader hit seventh is a great idea. I think he should be up in the 6th hole.
So 4 through 9 in your lineup, Luke, are all those guys' leashes really short? Is that kind of what you're saying? Where if Boehm struggles, he could be out of that 4 spot.
Yes.
If Kepler struggles, he could be gone. It sounds like you're saying that all those guys, 1, 2, 3 is decided. 4 through 9, those guys are going to have really short leashes in the postseason.
I think Kepler has a game leash, and I think Boehm has a spot in a lineup leash. And I think they're both very short. If Max Kepler goes out there and goes 0 for 5 and strikes out 4 times and they lose Game 1 and they play a righty in Game 2, that's going to be Nick Castellanos' spot, I think, in right. Bohm, I think once again, I think they're going to continue to ride Bohm in the 4-hole unless some other right-handed hitter gets really hot, like a Bader or a JT. I think those are really your only two options unless they play Castellanos and they think about putting Castellanos there. But that 4 spot is big. What you get from Bohm or Casty or JT or Bader, whoever hits in that 4-hole, is so big because Schwarber and Harper are going to do their thing. They always do. But it's not all going to be home runs, and you're going to have to get those guys in. They've struggled with it in the past. They've had to put Castellanos into the 4-hole last NLDS because Bohm was flaring all over the place. They've run into issues with driving in Harper and Schwarber in the postseason in the past because they haven't really had a true cleanup hitter. Alec Bohm's not a cleanup hitter. He hits 13 home runs a year. So it's big from them. Alec Bohm could not hit a single home run this entire postseason. If he finds the gap like Alec Bohm does, that's all you need him to do there.
Well, we got some interesting stuff happening out there in Cleveland, 6-1, and Cleveland has some action happening right now on the base path in the bottom of the 8th. We'll keep you updated there. They're scoreless out there in Wrigley.
Got a hit. Yes, he did.
Steven Kwan just came through with a double right there.
We moved to the Cubs game. There we go.
Let me ask you this. We'll close up shop on this one so people aren't bothering you in the day of the game. Who are you looking at from the same game parlay standpoint? What are we looking at? Who's going to have a day?
Man.
Who's going to have a day versus Shohei Ohtani?
Yeah, that's a really good question, Sean. Schwarber. Schwarber home run.
Lefty. Schwarber home run.
Schwarber home run. Harper home run.
Wow, dude.
I don't know if it's gonna. I don't know if it's gonna happen off of Shohei. I don't know if it's gonna happen off of a reliever. I think one of those guys goes yard, and I think both of them might. I do. And if
I think
they
might collapse if
Sean, if somebody goes yard in the first inning of that game for the Phillies,
yeah,
I bet my life they win game 1.
Well, I mean, I'm with you.
Maybe
but
not.
I was there last year. I was there last year at the NLDS game 1 when you referenced it earlier. Schwarber went yard, and that place went bananas. And we thought it was going to be a nice game 1 win. Didn't end up that way. It's definitely very different vibes around.
If Schwarber comes out after a 56 home run season and Shohei Ohtani's first inning ever pitching in the playoffs, Schwarber takes him deep, that place is going to explode. Absolutely explode.
I got goosebumps thinking about it.
I hope, man. I hope.
Darvish already pulled. Got 3 outs. Yeah, he's already out.
Already?
It's just 3 outs when it starts. Yep. Out after recording three outs. I mean, it's do or die. Cubbies are up 1, and I believe it's bases loaded right now. All right, let's keep it moving.
What inning are they in? Sorry, I just missed that.
Second.
What inning? God, they pulled him in the second inning.
I think so.
Man, I couldn't imagine having 8 innings of guys off your bench to throw.
Hey, dude,
right
I don't say bases are loaded with nobody out. Yeah, you got to pull them. You can't sit on that.
Can you imagine pulling a Ranger after 1 inning in a must-win game right now?
Sad.
It's bizarre.
Terrible.
You guys got a score prediction for Saturday or what?
Saturday, I will go somewhere around the lines of like 5-2, 6-3. So I'll say 6-3.
I'm close.
I like
I'm 5-3 Phils.
Yeah, I'll take the over. Over 7.5. I can get there at
5-3.
5-3.
What did you say, Sam? 5-3?
5-3 Phils.
I'm going to go 6-3. 6-3 Phils. I like that. So we all have the over. And we all have the Phillies win. I love it.
Oh, dude, ain't no one picking against them. Come on, man. All right, daily ticket rolling on. You're the best. We'll we'll ride off into Saturday because I am golfing tomorrow. So I am taking a day. Oh, yeah.
I played today. I played 9 today.
Can't wait. I'm so excited. I got a fresh we got the outing coming up. Swinging and dinging outing on the 20th. Let's go. So
swinging and dinging outing also is I have to pull up the calendar 1 second.
You better not have anything going on. You've been on the team
I
for a while.
I don't have anything going on during the day, but that is a potential game 6 of the NLCS that night. So we could if the Phillies beat the Dodgers and their NLCS gets to a 6 game, could go swinging and dinging open right into a Phillies NLCS game. Potential clincher.
Game 6 going to be at home or
It would be,
away?
yeah. It would
It's
be
going to be
at
at
home.
home.
Yeah.
Versus the Brewers.
Home
What
game.
What if the other team wins? The who the hell the Brewers playing?
Doesn't matter. The Brewers.
It's on the road. If
Brewers
it's the
on the
other
road.
two teams,
Gotcha.
it's at home.
Yeah.
Or
If
the
it's Brewers, it would be in Milwaukee. Yeah.
Okay. All right, something to keep right. Hey, no
We're
matter,
really getting ahead of ourselves
no
here.
matter
Game 6
what,
NLCS.
no matter what, you're on the swing and a ding a team.
Oh, no,
I
I'll
ain't
be there.
messing around. I got my guy Fresh. I got Luke Arcaney. We got
Yeah,
two.
who are we playing with?
Colin is good, and I'm a guy that can hit a couple shots every once in a while. And definitely
Game feels good. Game feels good. The handicap's down under 6 now, so we're moving.
We're coming for it. We're coming for the crown. All right.
What do you guys get?
5 point handicap went down to a 5.7 today.
I'm cutting this up and I'm sending it to Moose. I'll tell you right now, what do you get? No, this is the best outing that you could play in. I promise you. I've played in.
It is
ton
the
of them.
best.
And the fact is, there is so much going on, so much to win, so much activations happening, and it's a damn good time. It's not cutthroat, but
And it's at a
man,
great course too.
oh, unbelievable course out
What
there.
course?
The Legacy Club.
Club.
Yeah, in
Nice.
Cherry Hill. Looking forward to it. Swinging and dinging. Check them out. All right, Luke,
Right
you're
in
the
my
best.
neck of the woods.
You're damn right.
Yes, sir.
Got to order an Uber. You're the best. I'll catch up.
Yeah, me too. Thanks.
Yeah, we are. That's the group because we're coming from Conchi essentially.
Yeah.
Hell, Fresh is coming from Malvern.
That's a trip.
Oh man. So we were like, what are we doing? I'm like, yeah, I'm not driving, that's for sure. And I'm like, might even get a hotel room over there, but who knows?
Have you when you just said Malvern made me think of this. Have you seen this new show Task, HBO?
I heard about
You
it.
gotta watch it.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. show.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched Mayor of Easttown?
Yes.
Same creator of
Yeah.
that. Also takes place in Delco area,
Yeah.
out by Malvern.
Who's the actor in it? The dude?
Mark Ruffalo?
Yeah, he's money.
Yep, he's amazing. And then the other guy, I'm forgetting his name, but he's awesome too. Amazing show.
Did you see he was at the Eagles game?
Yeah, he was.
Do you see how small he is?
Yeah, he's tiny.
All those actors.
And
are
the other
tiny.
guy, who's the other co-star, is like a diehard Giants fan, so he refused to wear Eagles gear.
Oh.
But it's an unbelievable show. You got to watch it.
Oh, wow.
That was an awful error.
Dude. Got him though.
They have
Oh,
life.
safe.
How many guys scored there too?
6-3. My goodness, dude. Well, he's upset that the ball was thrown so hard at him. All right, so the pitcher, a ground ball to first baseman for the Tigers throws it over to the pitcher covering first base, and he had some mustard on it, no lie, but you got to catch the ball, and he doesn't. He doesn't catch it. Rolls over to the screen. 2-run score. We got 6-3. So now that is over. Watch this. Watch the first baseman. He fires it.
Still got to catch
Yeah,
that ball.
dude,
I
come
could
on,
catch that
man.
ball.
Look at the first
That's an
baseman. It's like,
awful
dude, are
error.
you kidding me?
Yeah. That's it.
Oh, it hit him in the head.
That's in his glove, and it just
Vest.
gets his eye off the ball and it goes right into his dome.
Dude, playoff baseball. Playoff baseball will chew you up and spit you out. Got him. He's out at second, though. So how many outs is that?
2. Dopes.
Is he the third out? 'Cause
Oh,
he's
maybe,
out.
maybe,
Yeah,
maybe.
he's out. So that's it. That'll put an end to the inning, which is a big deal because if they got this other run, anything is possible there. 6-3. It's 2 outs. Yep. So he's three
Challenged
outs.
that call, even though he's
Yeah,
clearly
he had
safe.
to. Yeah, he's out. So all right. So he's gone. 6-3 right now. Bottom or heading to the top of the ninth. All right, Sam, this is a fun show. Speaking of Mark Ruffalo, one of my favorite movies, and it comes from how good the media is and I know we refuse to even
That newspaper movie.
think about it. Yeah, as far as like the big bad media, and I'm right there with you. I can't stomach CNN, MSNBC, or Fox. I can't stomach those three. If you remove those three, that's fine. But when people start talking ill about the media, I get super, super frustrated because I have been in newsrooms where people work their ass off, and it ain't about, telling people. No, these are people that are covering the local stories for you and your community. Like, you want to live in a world without media? Knock yourself out. That goes meteorologists.
Someone's trying to do that.
I know that. Yeah, exactly.
Or I should say.
Yeah. Well, we can
Not
all connect the dots.
Fair media.
Bottom line is this. I always get on my soapbox at the end of these shows with you. I don't know
You
why.
do. I want to eat, man. I
But
haven't
the
eaten in 24 hours.
Spotlight
Yes,
is a great
I was trying to think of the
movie.
name. I was
It's a
waiting for you to
great
say it.
movie.
Spotlight's an unbelievable.
You need to
movie.
watch it if
One
you
of my
haven't.
favorite
Oh,
movies.
it's tremendous. So good. And that's why the media is needed for stuff like that. where people are trying to bury things. And it's like, wait a minute. You get people paid to do their job. All right, I'm shutting up. Let's keep it moving here. Daily Ticket, fun stuff. Sam, great job across the board. Super jam-packed day today. We had Luke Arcani, Deep Dive Phillies Dodgers. Natalie Eganoff talking about her show, Breakfast for the Birds, heard right here at 10 a.m. every Sunday. She's cooking up bison burgers? How come you don't cook up bison burgers?
I can't cook like that. I can do chicken, rice, salmon, pasta. That's about it.
Chicken marinated right now.
Nice.
A little soy.
I mean, you realize I haven't eaten in 24 hours and you're talking about food right now.
Yeah, so
we got to get at it.
When do you get to eat?
The second I leave this place.
So your fast started when?
Like around 6, 7 last night.
There's no
I don't usually fast too, but I haven't eaten
So there's no like certain time that you guys
sundown to sundown.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
All right.
But I'm gonna eat when I get out of here.
All right.
I don't usually do this. This is a first for me.
Do what?
Fast.
Oh, all right.
You're supposed to, but I don't usually do it.
And Sam is working. He's a guy that's never stopped working on Yom Kippur.
Yes.
What is Yom Kippur, if you could break that down for me?
It's the holiest day of the year. It's like the day you repent. That's where you don't fast. That's why you fast.
Gotcha.
And why you don't eat anything, because you're repenting for everything that you've done the last year. And it's just.
Do you have a lot to repent for?
Yeah, you could say that. Okay. maybe a thing or two. Maybe a thing or two.
We get honesty over here on this show. I love it. All right. Well, enjoy some grub. What are you going to get?
I don't know. There's some food at home for me. I may stop at Qdoba, though.
Oh, there you go. Did you say Qdoba?
Qdoba. How do you say it?
Qdoba?
It's a Q. What do you mean Qdoba? It's a Q.
Wait, how do you get Q when you say K? That's a C.
Yeah, Q's can make that sound.
All right, yeah, I guess.
Like QAnon. Actually, that's Q. That's not K. That's Q.
I go Qdobes. I'm a Qdoba guy over Chipotle.
Oh, way better than Chipotle.
All day.
So much
You
better.
and I are in
We're
agreement.
the only ones.
Well, yeah, we are
Everyone
so in a
loves- it's not
minority
even
on that.
close. The
Yeah.
chicken, the bowls, the quesadillas, everything.
I have been
Chipotle
blown away.
stinks.
Yeah, Chipotle is not even close. I would rather skip it altogether
100%.
if you told me Chipotle over.
We're the only people. You're the only person I've ever met that
That
actually
Qdoba's
agrees with it.
good right there on City Avenue.
Yeah, it's really
Go
good.
bang it out.
Yeah,
boom,
it's my
quick.
go-to for years.
You the man, Sam Ostry. Find him on socials, SOSHTRY. Resident Nick fan, but they won today. And
Celebrating
of
a
course,
preseason victory.
The Score. Make sure you check them out there. All right. Once again, I'm off tomorrow, baby. I am off tomorrow. I am golfing. I'm taking a day. We're back on Saturday. We're back on Sunday. We don't stop Monday, Tuesday. We're rolling right through with the Phillies, all that. So this is the place to be. But I'm going to take a day tomorrow and golf at the 1912 Club. Can't wait. Gorgeous day. I'm going to get out there and enjoy it. But Sam, always a pleasure on a Thursday, sir. Great job across the board. Continue to follow you on socials. Read you at the Score. Everybody, good luck in those plays. Coming up next, though, football is king. Nick McClay, one of, if not the hottest handicapper from coast to coast. One half of the electric duo on Football is King is coming your way right here on the other side. Don't touch that dial. Talk to you. Peace.
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
Heads up crash in North Coventry Town.